Theresa May vowed to be fair to public sector workers on pay today, but slammed Jeremy Corbyn for pretending no one would have to foot the bill for rises. The Prime Minister and the Labour leader traded blows over the future of the 1% cap on salary increases. In the last PMQs session before Parliament's summer break, Mrs May said she recognised the sacrifice being made by state employees, but again refused to confirm that the limit would be eased. Despite pressure from Tory MPs and inside the cabinet, scroll down for video. The Prime Minister and the Labour leader traded blows over the future of the public sector pay cap today. In the last PMQs session before Parliament's summer break, Mr Corbyn was slammed for pretending no one would have to foot the bill for rises, but he insisted too many people were in poverty. She insisted the UK had to live within its means and delivered an impassioned defence of the Conservatives' record in government. He seems to think it's possible to go around promising more money and promise nobody is ever going to have to pay for it, Mrs May told MPs, but Mr Corbyn shot back that the PM had managed to find £1 billion over 2 years to secure support from the DUP. The veteran left-winger kicked off the clashes by highlighting reports that Chancellor Philip Hammond told a cabinet meeting that public sector workers were overpaid compared to the private sector when their pensions are taken into account. He jokingly asked Mrs May if she believed Mr Hammond was referring to her own ministers, before telling MPs, "The Conservatives have been in office for 84 months. 52 of those months have seen a real fall in wages and income in our country." But Mrs May retorted that Labour had been responsible for crashing the economy and the Tories needed to make tough choices to put it back together. "I'll tell you when you can't have a strong economy, it's when you adopt Labour Party policies of £500 billion extra borrowing, which will mean more spending, more borrowing, higher prices, higher taxes and fewer jobs," she said. Mrs May said Labour had been responsible for crashing the economy and the Tories needed to make tough choices to put it back together. Parliament is about to break up for the summer break after a tumultuous few months. The Labour government crashed the economy. The Conservative government has come in. More people in work, more people in jobs, more investment. Mrs May said she was determined to balance being fair to public sector workers, protecting jobs and being fair to those who pay for them. He and I both value public sector workers. The difference is on this side of the house we know you have to pay for them, she added. Mr Corbyn said the PM doesn't seem to have any problem finding money to pay for the DUP's support.